Twitter is not only about posting content all the time, as it might seem from everything that I tell you, but it's also about listening. It's also about engaging with your followers. It's also about establishing those relationships. And I want to give you a flavor of the things that you could do on Twitter that don't necessarily involve you tweeting all the time, which are actually, some cool ways to use Twitter that could actually bring you tangible benefits, right? So why is listening important and what could you do with it? The first thing that you could do with it is build business connections and generate those targeted leads that everybody wants. I mean, obviously this is going to happen by you tweeting as well, but in order to really establish those relationships, you have to listen. You have to look what the people that you're targeting want to hear. You have to engage with them. You have to reply. You have to be insightful, and it all starts from you telling them what they want to hear. And the cool thing about that is that if you actually establish this relationship with them on Twitter, when you actually take that relationship further and you want to meet up or you want to set up a conference call, they're already going to feel like they know you, which is the fact that Twitter can facilitate this interaction for you and you can get to know the person before you actually meet them, I think is really, really interesting. The second aspect of Twitter, and a lot of companies actually use this, is to use Twitter for customer service. So you can look at airlines, for example, KLM. I remember once I had a complaint that I had to log with them about 3 years ago, and they actually had a timer on their website which said how long it would actually take, estimated time for them to get back to you if you tweeted your complaint to them. Right? So it's a very easy way because let's face it, customers don't want to fill in some forms or look for phone numbers. They can just look you up on Twitter and just hit you with a tweet and say what their complaint is. One word of advice in this case, if you actually decide to use Twitter for customer service and you have a lot of clients that come, and start writing to you, then you might want to create a separate account that only serves you for the customer service that you provide them with. The third thing that you could do is to monitor your industry. And you can do this very easily through some third-party tools, the most popular one being Hootsuite, and I'll show you how to use Hootsuite later in the course. But basically, by monitoring your industry, you can set up search columns. So you can have, let's say, 4 search columns in Hootsuite, which each target different keywords that are very important to your industry. And then you can just monitor all the chats that are happening and what people are talking about. Now, the final thing, and this is more if you want Twitter for entertainment, is to, use it to be amused, use it to have fun, use it to talk about things that you're passionate about. So one example from my personal life is what I usually do when I watch a basketball game. I'm really, really into basketball, and when I watch a basketball game, it's really cool to see all the interactions with journalists that you can have, right? So I would have the game on the TV, and I might have my tablet or my laptop with me and monitor the conversations that happen, right? So whenever something interesting happens in a game, somebody tweets about it. And I just look at that, I listen, I get all these opinions about the game that really add, an extra flavor. And I might even want to engage with those journalists and, start a debate about what happened and what I think about it. So these are just 4 quick ways that you can use Twitter that don't necessarily relate to you producing content, but it's more on the listening side, building relationships and interacting with this whole ecosystem that you have around you.